got it upside down. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is having a 40th anniversary this year, and part of that 40th anniversary celebration means they released this new Ninja Turtles one-shot comic. It's selling for about $12 at your local comic book store. It's got a lot of content in it, so let's dive into this in this review. So first, I do want to state this cover I grabbed is a variant cover. It is not the official cover that you'll find in every comic book cover. I went with this one because this one is very much made to represent the 2003 series, which does actually have a story here. So I really like this comic here because you get a little bit of everything here. So right here, this is probably my favorite piece just because it is so unique. This is literally a Ninja Turtles poem that is just taking the words of Edgar Allan Poe and just attaching a Ninja Turtle backdrop to it. It's really cool. Alone by Edgar Allan Poe is the name of the poem that they used for this art, so that's really cool. Then you get this weird story. I don't really like this one because there's no resolution to it. Like you see Rat King show up, and then this kid gets scared. The turtles interrupt the Rat King, but then at the end of the story, it's just the kid being traumatized, and there's no real resolution to that. I'm like, it's got some unique art to it, but like whatever. This one right here has some great art here with April, and it's just more of like a narration thing, kind of just giving us an idea of what April's mindset is throughout a lot of this stuff. So it's cool, but nothing too interesting. This one right here, Ninja Turtles Urban Legends. This one's alright. It's got some nice stuff. It's kind of cool to see like a metal Donatello and some cool stuff with that, but I don't really have a feeling towards this. This one's more of, I think this is from the Turtles Adventures Archie run. It's got some goofy humor in there, and it's kind of just a goofy story. There's nothing really to actually say, because it really isn't a story. In fact, most of these aren't really stories. They're just kind of one-off bits. This one right here, the 80s Turtles, of course, if you've been reading the Saturday Morning Adventures comic, it's just kind of a goofy story in that universe. And then you get the Turtle 2003 story, which is probably one of my favorites, just because it is nice to see those characters again. And it's not really doing anything except kind of just Master Splinter narrating about his sons and how much he loves them, which is sweet. And then you get this 2012 story, which actually, surprisingly, actually does tie into the 2012 series continuity-wise. Has some great art in it, and it's probably another one of my favorites because 2012 is my favorite Turtle story, but there's nothing really more to it. And then you have the 2003 Rise of the TMNT story, which is this one is definitely one of the best ones. Essentially, spoilers for that show, when Leonardo basically wants to use Mikey's powers to go back in time and say goodbye to Splinter, since he was the only one that when their version of Master Splinter died, he didn't get to say goodbye. So he goes back in time, does that, and then it's a great resolution character arc moment with that character. That's really sweet and just really cool. This one right here, it following directly after. I'm not really sure what comic run this is like based on, because all these are based on different comic runs and different other things. It's basically all the turtles, for the most part anyways, saying how they feel about their father and saying goodbye to their father, leaving him gifts and wishing him a happy Father's Day, which makes me think that this comic was meant to come out on Father's Day, because it even says Happy Father's Day right there. But still really strong, very well written. You got this one right here, very wordy, very cool action. Nothing more I have to say there. And that's pretty much it. So there's a bunch of mixture of different stories in this comic. So this is just, it is just cool to have as a collector. Like, if you're not going to read this is still cool to pick up if you're a huge Turtles fan. But if you are actually going to read this, there's some cool stuff in here. There's some cool, nothing that's going to like, oh, you're missing out if you don't get it. But it's cool as a fan, and there's going to be something that's going to appeal to you because there's so many different artists on this book. There's so many different writers on this book, different stories, different characters, and just fun jokes, fun emotional moments. There's like actually a lot of emotion, especially in some of the Master Splinter stories in this book, and it's just really strong. So if you're a Turtles fan, you gotta go pick this up. It's a great buy. It is 100% worth it. I do think it is a little overpriced though. Like, it's $12, and like usually when some of the larger issues are more expensive, it's because they're usually like $10, and you know, they're usually larger than a regular issue. This is like, in terms of what's actually inside the book, but on the outside just fits on the shelf normal size. So it really shouldn't be that much more. It should be the same price as those last Ronin issues, but it is what it is. I still think it's worth a pickup. If you're a mega Turtles fan, like, this stuff's cool. And we have a lot to look forward to as a Turtles fan with some of the new toys they're putting out, comics. We got the new series next month. We got the rebooted IDW line starting up in, like, not this week, but the week, like, literally right after. So much cool stuff that if you're a Turtles fan, just get excited. And of course, I will be breaking down as much of it as I can. Not so much the toys, because I don't really do that kind of stuff. But comics, TV shows, movies, whatever it is that's not games and not toys, I will be discussing it with you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.